Hey, we've got a big announcement to make today for the middle school ministry, and we're excited that you're watching this video so you get to hear it first before whatever you have planned for fall break. My name is msheley. I'm the middle school pastor at Mount Pleasant Christian Church, and here's a little update on what we've had going on to explain this big announcement today. Now, our middle school ministry is for students in grades 5, 6, 7, and 8. And if you have a student who's in high school or college, you may have been around long enough that you remember when we divided it with two ministries of two grades, 56 for students in grades 5 and 6, and 78 for students in grades 7 and 8. And for a long time, that made sense. But the last couple of years, we've been noticing that it's been hard for those fifth graders to get kind of plugged in when we just dump them in and start running. So we've decided to take a little note from what we've seen in the local schools. A lot of our local schools have a sixth grade academy or hallway where the sixth graders have some time to adjust to middle school life before they full on get all the rights and privileges of the 7th and 8th graders. So in our ministry, we're shifting where fifth graders now have a little bit different experience to help them get up to speed and ease in a little bit more, and then 6th through 8th have a more common experience as the middle school ministry. So in September of this year, we launched small groups for students in grades 6, 7, and 8. Now, 3 years ago, we had small groups that met during the weekend service like they do in Bibleopolis, but we realized the groups weren't getting enough time. So the plan at the time was to finish up the school year and then launch students in small groups in homes that following school year. What happened? COVID. No one met in person anywhere. So 2 years ago, we decided, okay, let's reintroduce small groups, but since no one probably wants to invite a bunch of people into their home yet, let's just have the groups meet in classrooms at the church. And for the last 2 years, this was kind of our workaround to what we originally wanted to do. Then in September of this year, some groups met in the home of the small group leader, some met in host homes, families who are grandparents, empty nesters, or just had to get the hospitality and want to welcome people in their homes to have a small group meeting at their house. And for 2 months now, the groups have been meeting, they're loving the host homes, they're loving getting to meet together, they're having a great time, they're really building community in a much different way than we can do in the large group service on the weekends. So if you have a student in grades 6, 7, and 8, and they haven't plugged into a small group yet, it's never too late. They're always welcome to join. We've got a link in the video description. You can sign them up and get them plugged in. Most groups are doing either something fun or taking a break over fall break, and then they're picking back up here at the end of the month, beginning of November. And so if you want to get plugged in, this is a great transition time to do that. Just fill out the form and we'll get you the information and get you plugged in. Another example of how we've seen this was the game night, date night in September. That was a partnership event between the children's ministry and the student ministry where we had elementary students grades 1 through 5 at the student ministry center. Didn't offer anything for 6 through 12, just 1st through 5, and then 2 years through K over in Bibleopolis. So now the 5th graders got to come in just like they are at elementary school, top dogs, oldest ones in the room, and they actually knew the space here and kind of experienced it, got to play a bunch of games, enjoy time together with their friends who are in elementary school as a new part of this 5th grade transition plan, and that was a huge success. They had a lot of fun, it was a great night, and they got to be the ones kind of showing everybody around where they've been doing ministry on the weekends since June. The next example of this change is our retreat. It's coming up here at the end of October. It's now just for students in grades 6, 7, and 8. And specifically, we're focusing on the small group experience. Students have been meeting every week for about an hour and a half in these small groups separate from our weekend service, which has been great. But now they have this retreat where they're going to be together from 9 a.m. on Saturday morning until 11 a.m. on Sunday morning for small group time, for teaching, for games, for campfire, and they get to choose recreation activities based on their individual choices. And so 6th graders can choose to do the climbing tower activity, 7th and 8th graders can choose the climbing tower or zip line or paintball. And those they don't have to do as a small group, they can pick and get to do those. And that's a great privilege because they've been at camp in the summer where they've seen kids doing these activities, and the only one of those 3 they had an option to do was the climbing tower. Now these 7th graders are older, they get to go back to Camp Allendale and do zip line and paintball at this retreat. Now, if you've got a student in grades 6, 7, and 8 who's not been a part of a small group, they can still go to the retreat. If there's room, we'll plug them in with an existing group and they'll be able to get to know some of the kids and the leaders and have a great time together, and then maybe choose to want to go to that small group after the retreat is done. If we have a lot of kids, then we'll break it up into multiple groups and they'll be a part of a group the same kind of way being with other kids their age, same grade, same gender, with an adult leader that will guide them through the weekend's activities together and still give them a chance to get a taste of what small groups look like if they want to join that after the retreat is over. Now I want to shift gears a little bit and talk a little bit further down the road at some exciting things coming in the future, including our big announcement. The first thing is, coming in January of 2023, our small groups for all 4 grade levels. We're going to have a special launch event in January to kick off our small group season for the spring semester, and we will be starting groups for grades 5, as well as restarting the groups for 6, 7, and 8. You don't have to sign up again if your kid's already a part of a group, but if you have a 5th grader, you've got pretty much now until the middle of November to get them signed up. Then we're going to have leaders in place. We're going to have groups assigned. We'll have meeting locations set up. All that information will be to you by the first week of December so that you're ready to go in January when these groups launched. We are really excited. Nothing makes a bigger impact in the life of a student for long-term faith than having a community like this where they have peers they can discuss and process their faith with and adult leaders that show them what it looks like to know and to follow Jesus. And so we're very excited. Coming in January, we'll have small groups for all the boys and all the girls in grades 5, 6, 7, and 8. If you haven't signed up yet, there is a link in the description. If you've got a student in grades 6, 7, and 8, that allows them to get plugged in this fall. And if you have a student in grade 5, that means that we'll place them into a group and be in touch with you so you have all the information for them to start meeting in January. Now, one event we're really excited to get to go back to that we haven't gone to for a couple of years is called Superstart. Superstart is a school year event, and this year it's going to be March 3rd and 4th, hosted here in Indianapolis at Traders Point Christian Church. It's a Friday to Saturday event. We'll meet here Friday after school, we'll grab some dinner, we'll drive up to Traders Point, have a big session with about 2,000 other preteens and groups of churches from around the state there at Traders Point. We'll come back here and spend the night in the Student Ministry Center, and then we'll head back to Traders Point Saturday morning to spend a whole day there to finish up the other 2/3 of the conference, returning Saturday night. It's going to be a great event, and this is an event specifically designed for preteens. So we're going to partner with our children's ministry and bring students currently in grades 4 and 5 to this event. And so again, it'll be a partnership event. 4th graders and 5th graders getting to come together, be part of this event just for their age group. I'll be leading the 5th graders. Amanda will lead the 4th graders. We'll bring in some of our leaders, but we also have an opportunity to bring in parents. If you want to do an event with your child, this is a great weekend event, Friday night to Saturday night. You can spend that 24 hours with your child and a group of preteens, helping them have a great experience at this unscripted weekend. We'll have more information in November about the theme, about the details, the cost, all that kind of information. Registration will open up December 1st, but we want to let you know this ahead of time so you can put it on your calendar. March 3rd and 4th, it's a Friday to Saturday. We'll be going to Traders Point for this event. And like I said, more details coming in November, and registration will open on December 1st. The weekend of June 3rd and 4th is what we call Promotion Weekend. Everyone begins to go to their ministry based on what grade they will be in the fall instead of what grade they just finished in their school. So whether you're ready to hear this or not, if you're a parent of an 8th grader, that means that in June 3rd and 4th of 2023, your 8th grader will be a freshman in the high school ministry. Mark on your calendars, June 19th through 24th, that's going to be our high school ministry summer conference for incoming 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders and current grads. That means current 12, 11, 10, 9, and 8th graders. Well, the best thing you can do as a parent of an 8th grader is to go in and check out the high school Instagram page, and then you'll know when that's going to be announced. They'll have information in their story, information on their feed about the event and when registration opens in the new semester. Here is our big announcement. You need to mark down the date, June 5th through 9th for 2023. That's the dates for the Mix Summer Conference. That's going to be the summer conference for students going into grades 6, 7, and 8, or our current 5th, 6th, and 7th graders. This event has always been available to 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. We just only took 7th and 8th grade because we had that divided ministry of 5th and 6th grade over here and 7th and 8th grade over there. Now that we're doing more of an alignment of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders together, and from January through May, all 5th, 6th, and 7th graders have an opportunity to be a part of a small group, we are leaning into this great event to get our summer kicked off. It's a Monday through Friday summer event called Mix Summer Conference. For some of you, your first question might be, what is Mix? Mix is a summer conference for students going into grades 6, 7, and 8 put on by Christ in Youth, or CIY, the same organization that puts on the High School Summer Move Conference and puts on that school year weekend conference called Superstart that we do. It's a great event where there will be about 400 middle school students gathered together for this summer camp, including our church, when we're bringing about 150 of that group for this event. So we'll be the largest, but not the only group there. The next question is, well, where is Mix? We know about Camp Allendale, and we know now about the High School Move Conference going to Michigan. Mix is located around the country at a lot of locations. The one that we go to is located at Country Lake Christian Retreat Center in Underwood, Indiana. It's about an hour-and-a-half drive south of Mount Pleasant Christian Church. It's an amazing camp. Over the last few years, as we've gone there, students who enjoyed Camp Allendale loved going to Mix at Country Lake. They have a huge lake, a large staff, and it's set up with more freedom than kids have had at Camp Allendale, but some similar activities. If they like to canoe, if they like to kayak, if they like to have the lake time, they get to have that. But now they have more freedom to choose when they want to do that. And the staff is larger and the lake is larger. So when they have lake time, anybody who wants to go can go. They don't wait for their small group to be assigned that time. Everyone wears a life jacket. Everyone has an opportunity to blob, to do the water trapeze, the water slide, to swim. There's the boating, like I said. They have a small pool they can go into. There's a trail the kids like to hike. They also have elective activities. Students can pick and choose if they want to do archery or axe throwing. And they also have the option to do either zip line or paintball. Every student can pick one of the large activities, zip line or paintball, and one of the smaller activities, archery or axe throwing. And it's a great, fun week for these students. We still are in small groups. Matter of fact, our small groups that have been meeting from January through May is what we'll be setting things up with, and hopefully all or most of our small group leaders will be going with our students there. We'll also have a few openings for some adults who want to jump in and help out where we don't have enough small group leaders if we have that many kids sign up. But it's a great, great location. We love working with the staff there. We have a great relationship with them like we do the people at Allendale, and they're awesome for us to work with. It's a really, really good week. If you missed it before, when is Mix? It's Monday, June 5th through Friday, June 9th. We'll meet at the church about 11 o'clock on Monday, June 5th, and we'll get back about 10:30 on Friday, June 9th. Now, if you've got a student who's been before, we've always met at the Student Ministry Center and loaded up. But this year, because of our larger group, about 150 total, we're going to be meeting at the main church parking lot, both for drop-off on Monday morning and for pickup on Friday. We'll get you more details about that as registration gets going. Speaking of registration for Mix opens up early, November 1st. So you've got a little bit under a month to get ready for that. We're getting information ready for the registration site to go live. That will open up November 1st for a few different reasons. It gives some space between the Allendale and Moo registrations opening up in the spring semester. It also gives your kids a chance to ask their grandparents or family for money at Christmas to go towards their Mix conference if they want to do that. The site with information about cost and more details will be going live by the end of fall break, and so you can check that out really soon. And then November 1st it will open up. I will tell you that our event is sold out. So once our 150 spots fill, then it'll be gone. You might think that sounds like a lot of spots. We filled 100 spots last year with just 2 grades of students. So we gave us a little bit of a buffer, but once we add in our adults, our leaders, our nursing staff, that's going to fill up pretty quickly. If your child wants to go to a summer camp or conference and they're currently in grades 5, 6, or 7, be sure to save this date and plan on registering so they can have a chance to go to Mix to one of our spots. Now, I know there's more information you're going to want to know, more questions you may have. We set up a whole set of pages on our website for you to find out more information. You go to mpcc5678.com/mix. And there you can find 6 different pages with information about the theme, questions about housing and small groups, information about leaders, all kinds of details there, even a frequently asked question page to help you out answering questions that parents have had over the years when it comes to Mix in general or this site specifically. So that link is in the description. You can check it out, bookmark that. That's also where we will link our registration when it opens up November 1st, so be watching for that. Well, I know the other question underneath all of this might be, hey, I thought my 5th grader was going to go to Camp Allendale for one more summer, so what about Camp Allendale? Well, now that we're giving 5th graders the opportunity as incoming 6th graders to enjoy and get 3 years out of Mix, we're making Allendale a 3-year event as well. So Camp Allendale this summer will be June 11th through 16th for students who are going into grades 3, 4, and 5, or our current 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. So these are all students who are currently in Bibleopolis. Amanda Snow is taking lead of that camp. I will still be going. Dustin will still be going. We're going to help out with this event, get to know our 5th graders. But Allendale is now going to be for incoming 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, or current 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. That means that Allendale will be now a 3-year experience. Mix will now be, instead of just a 3-year experience. And a lot of our kids wanted more time at Mix. Now they're going to have that. So they can have the opportunity now for 6 years of camp, 3 years at Allendale and 3 years at Country Lake with Mix. Then they go on to move, where they can go for either 4 or 5 years if they want to come back as a graduate for high school. That's all I have for today. I know that was a lot of information, a lot of future stuff for you, but I want you to be aware of these things, to be watching out and saving those dates. I especially want you to know about the Mix Summer Conference. This is a big, big deal. We're very excited to be able to take 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to Mix, to enjoy this experience, to have more opportunities than they have had at Camp Allendale, to have more opportunities to do some things individually than they've had a chance to do, and to get to know their small group in a deeper level than they'll have had time for in just an hour and a half a week throughout the spring semester. We're very, very excited. If you have questions, please check out that link, mpcc5678.com/mixfirst. And if you still don't find an answer to your question there, my email address is in the description of the video. You can contact me and check that out. We are thrilled that we get to partner with you as parents to help these students know and follow Jesus. And we thank you that you trust us and work with us in that process. We hope that you get to enjoy some downtime, whether it's a staycation or a vacation over fall break. We look forward to getting all these plans unrolling here, starting in just a few weeks as we get ready for our fall retreat for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, and then begin to give you more information about that Superstart coming up for grades 4 and 5 students in the spring. Thanks a lot. I'll see you later.